Hey everybody, it's Always Bookin Comedy. I'm Mark Masters. We're live with Connor Lonsdale. I'm gonna update your name to put the last name in there. We got a kitty in the house. What's the kitty's name?
This is Liam Neeson's. She goes by Lee for
Neeson's.
short.
Nice. There we go. We get your name updated. Amazing, amazing. How are you, Connor? How's the Bay Area?
Doing good. It's wet right now, but
Man,
it's not too bad.
It's like so sunny and warm in Colorado right now. It's incredible.
Lucky you.
It's rad. So what's new? What's I don't know, what's going on in comedy? What are you excited about? What should we chat about?
Well, we just had the SketchFest here. Yesterday was the last night.
A buddy of mine just went out. You didn't happen to meet Sammy Anzer, did you?
I did. Yeah.
No way.
He was on. We were on a show together on Saturday night.
Oh, right on. Yeah, we did a show last Saturday. And he told me he was going out to SketchFest. How'd that show go? Tell us about the show.
I really enjoyed his set. He was very funny.
Yeah, he is funny. He's great. He's terrific. Tell us about that show. Where was it? How many people?
It's at a place called Mr. Bing's.
I think I went there, like downstairs jazz thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like the little scary little basement down there.
Okay.
And yeah, they do that show every Saturday, and I don't produce it, but I'm part of this group of extra producers in case they need someone to come in and help run the show.
On call, nice. Let me see if that's the right place. Was it like red, white, and blue themed, kinda? Is it around the corner from what's the place right in Union Square? The theater.
It's probably not. I'm not
sure. Therapy.
Okay, no, it's not that. It's
okay. I'm thinking of something else.
It's in North Beach.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Not the same place. How many seats is it? Roughly.
I think they could fit like 50 or 60 in there, maybe 60.
Okay.
But yeah, if there's 30, it feels really full.
Nice. Was it busy during the SketchFest Saturday?
Yeah, it was good. I was surprised how many people came out when they had so many other options, but it was a fun show. Great crowd.
That's awesome. And how many? So you were local. What was the mix between locals and out-of-towners?
We had, I think, 3 out-of-towners.
Okay.
On that one. Well, yeah. Well, one guy was he was formerly local, but now he lives in Philly. Have you ever heard of Jules Posner?
No.
He was on it. Very funny. Yeah. Everyone was great on the show. Yeah. We had someone with him. We had someone from LA, someone from Austin.
Nice.
It was a good mix.
That's rad. So is SketchFest like exhausting when you're a comic in the Bay Area? It's kind of confusing to me as a concept because it's like multiple weeks.
Yeah, it goes on for 3 weeks, really. It's not exhausting. The one you do get a little frustrated because there's less bookings available for us, because there's so many people in town that, taking all the spots. But
right,
it's nice to meet everyone, and then you get to go to the parties.
Nice. Yeah. Was there anybody that surprised you from a market you wouldn't have expected to be really funny?
No surprises really, because everyone I met was, either from New York, LA, Austin,
okay,
Chicago, all the main spots.
Okay.
Denver.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm always fascinated because there are funny people in these small places. Every once in a while they pop up, middle of nowhere, Iowa or Arkansas or whatever. It's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go somewhere bigger. But I mean, they're doing fine. I don't run into them in Arkansas and Iowa. I run into them in Chicago and San Francisco and wherever. So they're traveling and visiting. They're making it happen. Do you travel much?
Not a lot. I'd like to. I went to New York in the summer, and that was a lot of fun.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't gone down to LA for comedy, surprisingly, yet.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about trying to set up a trip to go down there. I just gotta, find the time and book some shows.
Yeah. When you were in New York, were you watching or were you performing more? Or
both. I've tried to find. I mean, it's easy to find sets at Mike's every day because there's so many.
Yeah.
I got booked on a few shows, but
were they any good? I've been to New York and been booked on shows that were awful. I would have rather gone to a mic.
Right? Yeah. Well, sometimes they can fit. One of them was literally like just the comedians and then my friend who I brought.
Yeah, and a bartender. Yeah, I've done that on the show. And
But,
what's crazy is the time I did one of those in Brooklyn. Took me like 45 minutes to get there. It was the producer, a couple of comics, and the bartender. And the person who went before me had been on the Tonight Show. It was like, what are we doing? What is going on here?
we love to punish ourselves.
Oh,
But yeah, I did one that had like a dozen people in a basement. It was fun.
that's great. That's killer. Cool. Did you start comedy in the Bay Area?
Yeah, I'm from here.
Oh, okay. Oakland or San Francisco?
I'm from Alameda. It's right next to Oakland.
Okay, gotcha. Have you been through the whole punchline gauntlet?
Currently enthralled in that right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your strategy? Do you go every week?
I do go every week. Well,
Okay.
now I used to.
How many weeks a year? Let's be real. Like it can't be 52 Sundays a year, can it?
No, because I mean, anytime I'm not booked, I'm gonna go just because I want to.
It's like 40.
Yeah, probably. Well, I used to run. My show used to be on Sundays. It used to be every other Sunday, so I would basically just go punch every other week.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason I moved it to Thursday.
Huh.
So I could get out there every
powerful.
time.
They're flexible people.
They are.
Any ideas or tricks to accelerate things, or just you gotta just put in your time and show your face?
Yeah, you gotta just put it. I mean, it does seem like people can get like if you're more pestering him a little more, it could kind of move you along quicker. And
Okay, I thought you were gonna say the opposite, maybe.
No, it seems to work, but that's not really in my nature. I'm more just kind of try to do my best and hope they notice.
Yeah, I always heard there's like a maxim in comedy. It's better to get things too late than too early.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't even go until I was doing comedy, or I did it for like 3 years before I even went. I didn't want to like get up there and not be ready.
Right. Yeah. So remind me how that works. Like when you go every once in a while, you do get like, have you been up or have you only been Yeah. Okay.
No, I've been up like on Sunday, maybe like 8 or 9 times.
Okay. All right. And you're just waiting for the call to host. Is that right?
Basically, well, you get an audition and then they decide if you pass based on, it seems mostly based on like nailing the announcements and all that kind of stuff, all the housekeeping.
Sure. So the audition it's hosting the Sunday night show.
No, it's hosting like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, like a regular host feature headline.
And then you get to, if you pass that, you get to host on a
Then
Sunday
you get to
night.
do weekends. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, you get to do regular shows. Cool. And probably get paid as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Heck yeah. That's cool. What other clubs are around? Do you go up to Sacramento at all, or?
I've done a bunch of shows in Sacramento. I've actually never been to the Punchline out there.
Okay. There's another club there too, a small.
There's Laughs Unlimited.
Yeah.
And that's a fun spot. Okay. I've been there a few times.
Nice. There's Cobb's, but Cobb's is probably like what you get past at the Punchline to make it at Cobb's, or it's kind of like
they're basically the same. Like what
there's
you get past
like,
the Punchline, you're in a Cobb's too.
Right.
And there's by the same guy.
There's no track at Cobb's. Like you don't go on Sunday nights at Cobb's, right?
No, it's all through Punchline.
Yeah, got it. Fascinating. You do a lot of don't tell out there. That show I did with Sammy was a don't tell, which made me think of it.
Every now and then, I did one a couple weeks ago.
Coolest don't tell venue.
Which one did you do?
Well, the one I just did, it was in Denver, it was actually in Lakewood. I forget the town. It's west of Denver. I actually made a joke on stage that this is a drive-through town for me. I've never actually stopped here. And as I was saying it out loud, I was like, these 100 people are not going to enjoy what I'm saying. This is not a smart thing to say on stage.
Hey, by the way, you're all a bunch of nobody pieces of shit.
I was like, oh, Mark, what are you doing? So I immediately followed it with, but I love it now that I'm here. It's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. To kind of dig myself out of that hole. But now it's funny that now I can't even remember the name of the town. But it was really cool. It was in like a mall, and inside the mall there was a bar, and in the back of the bar there was like a secret speakeasy, and it like, I mean, it would be cooler in like a downtown city, but like the way it was set up, it was like gorgeous. It looked like a fever dream. There was like, clouds and birds, and it had some kind of owl theme. It was called like Owl Bar, was the secret bar in the back. So it's pretty cool. The lighting wasn't great. Sound was terrific. And it was packed out. Like almost, I do don't tells all around the country, and man, can they put butts in seats.
Yeah, I wish I knew their secret.
I know. It's got to be they spend a lot of money on ads, like because they can monitor.
Yeah, I see them a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they can monitor the ticket sales, and if they need to, I think they just dump money in, which is smart. It's good for business because comics are like, oh yeah, I'll do that show because I know there's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you didn't do one when you were out here?
I've not done one in the Bay Area. I've worked with Jordan Thulis, who used to run Don't Tell, and I've emailed with Balmer, Pete. Yeah, a little bit. He was going to do something out in Colorado with me. Does he run it still or now? Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 different producers running. There's SF, Oakland, Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, kind of all different quadrants of the Bay.
Nice. I'm usually not in the Bay Area on weekends. I go out like once or twice a year, and it's usually weeknights. So that's probably why. Do they do Thursdays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally. I think there's a Wednesday one too in Santa Rosa.
Oh, nice. Cool. And I never have a car either. So sometimes
you need that here.
Yeah.
All I do is drive around.
Sometimes I can get a ride, with another comic. I've done that a couple times for Oakland stuff, but also the BART. Like I've gotten pretty lucky doing Oakland stuff that you just hop on a BART and you either Uber from there or just walk to where you're headed. Sweet. So you run a show and you switched it from a Sunday to Thursday to make it easier to get in at the club. Tell us about the show. Why'd you start it? Was that your first show?
No, actually, I ran a show at a local bar in Alameda back when I first started.
Okay.
And that was usually pretty good because, there's not a lot to do. And I know a lot of people there, so I was able to pack it with like locals. But that ended with the pandemic.
Ugh.
And then the bar show I run now started because I lived down the street from the place. And me and my housemate would always go hang out there, and we became friends with one of the bartenders, managers.
Nice.
And she was like, yeah, let's do a show. And it's been actually this week, it'll be the 3-year anniversary.
Wow. That says a lot. So are they free shows? Are they ticketed?
It's free. I wanted to sell tickets, but the restaurant they don't want to tell anyone that they can't come in,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever get customers who aren't, it's kind of like ambush comedy for them? Like they're,
every week there's some people being ambushed. I'd say it's usually about half the people in there are surprised. So every week I'm hosting. Are
there kids ever?
There have been. But we usually if I see people coming in, I'm there a couple hours before the show because I got to move tables around and set up.
Yeah.
So if I see someone coming in with kids, I give them a warning, just let them know.
Yeah. There are going to be some dick jokes here in a couple hours.
There might be.
Yeah. Here we got a question online from North Carolina. Can you win them over, or is it a lost cause?
No, you can always win them over if you do it right. I'm not going to say I have 100% success rate, but I try
it's a booked show, so it should be. We used to have a mic in Denver on Friday nights that was in like a pizza place, and it was brutal because at a mic the quality of comedy and the filthiness of quality is varied. So
I try to come out with more interaction, just be fun and friendly, and make them think it's going to be a nice comedy show. Not like everyone's always afraid because they see TikTok and Instagram. They're afraid I'm going to get roasted and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then I try to put someone strong first too.
That's smart. That's smart. Do you do anything like lighting, sound, stage, anything like that?
Yeah, I have a. I mean, I provide all the sound equipment. I used to play in bands, so I have like a really nice PA
Cool.
and
Pretty
bring a
portable.
spotlight. I set up a little stage area so it kind of looks like a professional, nice little show.
I think that makes a world of difference. Is this
It does.
stage
It's
area elevated or is it just like a carpet?
yeah, it's a carpet.
Okay, nice.
I've thought about getting a little pallet size stage,
Yeah. I
which
got I I'll look up maybe a little bit later what mine is, but it's great. It's 3 foot by 3 foot. It was like several $100s, but it's like the
really.
same. It's what bands use. Like when a drummer is risen up. Like
Hmm.
so, I've had 350-pound people on this thing, and it's only the one I have. You can get different sized risers, but I have an 8-inch riser for mine, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes a huge difference. Uh,
Yeah, I did it. I did have one for a little bit, but it was just so small. You feel weird, like you can't move around. You're just
Yeah,
standing on it.
if I had a nickel for every time a headliner made fun of the small stage on stage, like during their set.
I mean, 3x3 is a little decent. I had one that was like maybe 2.5x2.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean it is pretty restricting, especially like I do some rooms that are pretty big, like theater size, and then but I'll still pop up the stage, which not all the time. If the performers are mostly tall, I'll like run it by the headliner. Like, what do you think about I usually do runs, so it's usually like the fourth show. And so I'll be like, would you want to skip the stage tonight so you can roam around? And different some people just stay in the pocket. They don't care. It doesn't matter if they're
Yeah.
on the stage or not. They're not going to move around too much.
I do use one on my. I have another show that's more infrequent. Maybe every couple months we do it. It's at a. It's in like a parking lot behind a wine shop.
Outdoors?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're taking a break during the winter, obviously, but
Okay.
that one's actually really nice because they pack it out just from the email list of the wine shop.
Wow.
So we
That's
get
cool.
like 100 people every time.
Huh.
And I use a stage with that one just because.
Where do people sit? Do they bring their own
Oh,
chairs?
we set up chairs. Yeah.
Dude, you're a hero. You drive the chairs there? Are they stored there?
I no, I do. I actually they're Dan Lewis's chairs, who you had on a couple weeks ago, and they're stored in a spot in San Francisco where another friend of ours runs a different show.
Okay.
So every time I have to drive out there, get them, take them, then come back and get the sound equipment. Actually, I have been able to fit all the sound equipment and the stage and the chairs in my car at once. I have a Honda Fit.
Unreal.
I've
A
managed
hundred,
to.
not 100 chairs though.
No, I get 30 chairs,
Okay.
and then they have like 40 at the spot next door that they use.
Incredible. Like so like I think a normal person would want to know why do you spend so much time and energy running a show?
Well, that one pays very well because we sell tickets, and then we do tips at the end too. And it's like a wine shop, so it's like an older, wealthy Berkeley crowd. So
Nice.
we get a decent amount.
You do it for the money.
Yeah, I'm able
Nice.
to pay the comics really well
Yep.
and get some for myself too.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's the dream. That's awesome. Was it always that successful? Did you take it over or did you start it from scratch?
I took it over from Dan Lewis
Okay.
because I actually don't know if you'd want me to tell this story. He had a friend who used to work there that had a falling out with the place,
Okay.
and then they reached out to Dan to restart the show, and then his friend caught wind of it and got really upset that he was dealing with these horrible people that had betrayed him, and so he handed it off to me.
Nice.
So to absolve himself of any involvement.
Nice. How do you sell the tickets? Is it Eventbrite?
It's on their website.
Oh,
on the
okay.
wine shop website.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything you've changed about that show over time? Do you light the stage outdoors?
Yeah, I bring my spotlight, and I have a little stand. I set it up. I jerry rig it with duct tape, so we have a nice little circle spotlight. Board. Yeah,
nice.
It's a lot. I mean, I've only done a couple since we started it back up.
Okay.
Next one will be March 7th.
Okay, right on. That's wild. And you in your PA as well, you take it outdoors?
Yeah.
What if it rains or something?
I mean, if it rains, we're going to cancel the show.
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
imagine we've been lucky so far.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's funny how different that is. Like outdoor comedy in Colorado is kind of like a dead end
Yeah.
generally because of weather. You know, it's not like you're in California, the weather's different. Um, you know, it's either
Yeah.
like, and the other problem is if it's nice enough out to attend an outdoor comedy show, Colorado people don't want to go to a comedy show. They want to go bicycle and
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
beer in a park and you know,
Yeah,
like
we get that almost every day, so it's not a big deal to us.
yeah.
Um, what was I going to say? It's I feel like an outdoor show, like a lot of these, like the idea never would even come up if it weren't for the pandemic.
It is crazy some of the upsides that happened because of the pandemic. Like people just got very creative. Like for me personally, I met a lot of comics who would do my Zoom shows online who I had
Mm-hmm.
no business booking in real life. And then after the pandemic, I had their contact information. And once I started selling tickets and having a budget, I was like, well, maybe I'll fly somebody in. And then I had all these people's cell phone numbers and email addresses. And I don't think without the pandemic, I wouldn't have known how to reach, people who have been on late night TV and are passing
Yeah,
store and Comedy Cellar. And
yeah, we got real desperate. We were willing to go anywhere to do a show.
yeah. What kind of PA do you have?
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh, okay. It's just like a speaker on a stand.
No, it's like a separate speaker and then like an actual PA. You could run in a full band into it. It has eight inputs.
Oh, cool. Nice.
I forget
Use a
what it's
real
called.
mic stand.
Yeah.
Okay. The stage, by the way, I'm pretty sure it's IntelliStage is the brand. If
Oh, word.
there wants to look it up. 3 foot by 3 foot. I think it cost $350 somewhere, like $300 to $400. And I've used it on 300 shows already. The thing is bulletproof. It is incredible.
It's easy to move. It like folds up and
it
stuff.
folds in half.
Nice.
So it's like 3 feet by 1.5 feet stacked a little bit on top of each other. And there's a separate box for the riser thing, which is like an accordion. And then you put the stage on the accordion thing and it's got a little Allen wrench in each corner. You just turn it like 90 degrees and it's rock solid.
Yeah,
Get the 8-inch riser if you're out.
It's got like a homemade. It's just wood.
Yeah, they're kind of. I mean, as much as I use it, I think a homemade one would fall apart.
I guess it depends on who made it.
Yeah, and if it's too good, I feel like it would be too heavy and bulky to cart around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what have you learned running shows? What's something you have changed at a show or done to improve? Or have you learned anything about your own comedy running a show?
Yeah, I mean, I guess having to deal with the at the bar show, the ambush aspect is kind of like running with weights on, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
sure. And you're hosting most of these shows?
Yeah, I always host it.
Yeah, I always host.
I mean, I've had a guest host a couple times if I'm booked somewhere else and I don't want to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
well,
mostly
I think that right. Even hosting is like running with a weight vest.
Yeah, so it's a double whammy with the skeptical people.
Yeah, you got an instant hole to dig out of, and you have less kind of like traditionally you can't be super dirty coming out in the host spot, which is a little more difficult. So
I guess that's something that I've definitely had to work on because I mean that's my natural inclination. That's what that's what I find funny is that kind of stuff. So
right,
I've had to work on writing more clean stuff.
You got any hosting tips for people?
You know, I find it's different in different places. I was shocked when I was in New York because it seemed like the host comes out and all they do is crowd work.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then here, like with the whole process at Punchline, they're constantly saying, don't do crowd work, don't do any.
Yeah.
And so I guess it
Comedy
depends
Works
on.
in Denver is the same. You almost never see crowd work there. They want you to do material.
Yeah. So I'd say, I mean, I always try to, you do the thing, get the cheers going a few times, and then like just my quickest joke off the top, try
Yeah.
and get a laugh within like 15 seconds or so.
Yeah. Do you how long a host spot are you doing? Like 10 minutes?
At Portal, I vary it based on how many comics I have and how the audience is looking. Usually I'll do about anywhere from 5 to 10.
Okay. And so do you ever sneak in new jokes? Are you using this as like a mic for
Yeah,
yourself?
definitely. Yeah. I mean, I try to always have, because there's like repeat customers that are coming back. So I
That's
try to
the
always have
worst part
something
about
new.
running a show, man. I
Yeah.
host every show. I got shows this week. I'm doing Vail Comedy Show this week with Ariel Elias, and I'm like, I'm a little panicked because half the audience is the same audience. They've seen me for 4 years every month. They can like recite some of my jokes.
Well, in that situation, crowd work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have gotten, I think for whatever reason, for me, as I've gotten better at comedy, crowd work has become more accessible to me. Like
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable doing it now. And I like that New York style where basically what you're doing is you're making the whole room feel like a group instead of a bunch of individuals. Like
Exactly.
everybody
Yeah.
knows the doctor from Minnesota and the people that are on a first date, and you're all kind of like together. And I like that part of hosting now. It's taken me a long time to get open to that. And you do have to be funny when you're doing crowd work. You can't just say like, where are you from? What do you do? Oh, that's interesting. Like you have to have jokes about
Yeah.
stuff. So, I mean, at this point, I would say like 30 of the 50 states I have jokes for. And I'm trying to
nice.
get to like every state in America. Like every once in a while I'll get stumped. And I have like a couple, like I have a Midwest joke. So like anywhere in the Midwest or anywhere that's at a flat, like most of New England is flat. Like most of it, probably
Yeah, I was
30,
gonna say, like,
30 of the states
if
are
you have
not
30
about.
jokes, that could probably apply to at least 50. You just
Yes.
use the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
one for a few.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, we got to start landing this plane. I don't know. What are you excited about? What 2025 goals? You gonna make it to LA in 25?
I do want to go down there in 25. I'm hoping to get past the punchline this year. I've been
Okay.
talking to the guy and
Nice.
he's very doesn't like to be direct with like where your standing is,
Yeah.
but it seems like I have his attention, so that's good.
How long have you been doing comedy?
6.5 years.
Okay, right on. I'm the same as me, right in
Oh,
the
nice.
right there. It's a weird place to be. I feel like it's good.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot more confidence than I used to have, and a huge reservoir of jokes to lean on. But it can also be frustrating to see. And I shouldn't worry about this. That's a maximum of comedy. But it's the time when people around you are starting to get stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and move places, and get successful, and you got to just like be very zen and focus on yourself.
Yeah. One thing about being in this timeline, it feels like I feel like a couple years ago had a more, like I had my like 10 minutes, I had my 15 minutes, and I was always doing that, but now at this point I'm like tired of those jokes.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to
Doing more topical stuff.
do more top, or just, writing new stuff. And then it's kind of hard to like build a set when you're just writing random jokes about stuff.
Yeah.
I like to have it like flow, like,
Yeah.
so it seems like I'm talking instead of just reciting jokes.
Right. Yeah. Have you done any other festivals around the country? Or I guess you haven't. You've really only done New York and California at this point.
There's a festival up in Eureka every year that's pretty fun at the Savage Henry Club.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. So a bunch of Denver people go to that.
Yeah, I met some this year.
Yeah, nice. All right, man. That's about it. Where can people find you online?
Instagram.
Okay.
At VALK_ILLMER.
Okay, like Val Kilmer.
There you
with
go.
2 L's and an underscore in the middle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the cat's name one more time. Also,
This
a
is
famous Hollywood actor.
Liam
Oh,
Neeson's.
what a good kitty. Liam Neeson's, you were the star of this episode. All right, Connor, stick around for a second. We're going to wrap this up. Thanks, everybody. Tune in next Monday or watch the back catalog, whatever. There's tons of great content here. It's always Bookin' Comedy.